I'm Laura from Infinitas and I'm here to bust some myths about heat pumps. MythBusters, busting myths about our carbon footprint. Yes, you should use solar power to power your heat pump. It's unlikely that you'll be able to be completely off grid. And the reason for that is because, say for example, you had a large college building and you had quite a large roof, you are limited to how much solar panels you can get on that roof. And that will determine how much power you're generating. Your heat pump, on the other hand, might have a much higher electrical demand because the heat demand for that particular building is quite high, and it's then about matching the size of heat pump with your solar array, but you will be limited by the space that you've got for your array. The best thing to do when you've got solar PV and a heat pump is to use storage, and it's something that we are starting to see happen a lot more in the UK, but it's not anywhere near where it should be. And by storage I mean electrical storage as a battery, or thermal storage as in big tanks of water or phase change materials, which I can talk about another time. So what that means is that you decouple or separate off the heat demand of the building from when electricity is being generated or when a heat pump is generating heat. So it means that, for example, in the olden days when we had economy 7 storage heaters, the storage heater would run at night when it's cheap to run, generate heat for the morning when electricity becomes expensive again. You're benefiting from cheaper heat generation, but the heat is used later when electricity is expensive. In the same way, you can generate electricity when the sun is shining, for example in the middle of the day, put that into a battery which then runs your heat pump through the night when you need the heat but there's no solar PV. Or alternatively, you can run your heat pump when either there's a lot of solar being generated on your roof, or when electricity is cheap, for example in the night, or if you're using time of use tariffs, you can run your heat pump, fill up a big tank of water, essentially that's what a thermal store is, and then use the thermal store to heat the building, but leave your heat pump not running so it's not consuming any electricity. So then there's this disconnect, this gap between when your heat pump's running and when you actually need heat. So if you can do that, either using solar PV and a battery with a heat pump and a thermal store, that's the perfect way of doing it. Or if you just use your solar PV to run your battery, and then at least you are reducing the amount of electricity your heat pump is taking off the grid. Of course, there are people in the UK who are able to live fully off grid. So for example, they might have a very small heat pump and a very big field with a lot of solar panels on it. But as long as they're using battery storage or thermal storage, because of course you're not generating electricity at night when it's dark, and that's when your heat pump might need to run. But if you can fill up your battery with electricity and then run your heat pump at night off your battery or using a thermal store, you could potentially be off grid.